Welcome everyone, welcome to the stream. It has been one. So, try two. I know we tried streaming a bit earlier, but when I was back at my home, and it didn't work well. So we are going to be chugging right along. Today, I'm going to be streaming from my new dorm. So same building I was in last year, just different floor, different room. Slightly different roommates, but still seems good. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. This stream is going to be recapping my summer, basically. Where I've been this whole time, why I haven't uploaded, you know? And showing off some things from that time. So, yes, this summer, I spent up in the mountains in Tennessee, up in Pigeon Forge to be exact, and I was working. And if you can't tell from the stuff I'm wearing, I was working at Dollywood, specifically their water park here, Splash Country, and I was doing an internship for them. And I will say, it was a great internship. People there were cool. I was able to do a good project. We did an intern project, and I think mine was about improving their fast pass time saver system in the water park. There were some small issues with communication, but they'll probably be sorting that out. And the dorm was a little cramped because they had just finished building it. They hadn't even finished building the dorm when we moved into it up there. I was in a hotel for half the time, but we got through it. That's what I'll say about it. It was a good internship though, good learning experience. But I will say I'm a little embarrassed for myself because when I first drove up there, I drove up into Tennessee, and when I got into Pigeon Forge, that area from Knoxville, the mountains looked fake to me. I'm a Floridian, so when I think about actually mountains, you only see them in I only see them in video games and stuff. So it looked like when I drove into town, it looked like the mountains in the background were part of a skybox for a video game, and it took me a little while to get used to. But that honestly, that area up there, the whole Pigeon Forge area, is amazing. The views are astounding. And I got to work in this tiny little theme park connected to Dollywood, this little water park. And it's just nestled right in the center of the mountains. And all around you, it's just hillside, trees, mountainside, everywhere. And looking out around you from the top of some of the slides and stuff. Just mountains everywhere. And it was amazing, honestly. So that was, because I hadn't been to Pigeon Forge since I was in elementary school, over a decade. And while I was up there, I made sure to do as much of the touristy stuff as possible, since Pigeon Forge is a very touristy town. It's a center for it. And right in the center of that center is Dollywood, where I was working. Ignore the sounds in the background. But as I was working there, we got into a bunch of the touristy stuff for either cheap or for free. So I'm going to show off some stuff that I got from my time there. First off, I got some Dollywood merch, some pretty good stuff. I really like this hat. I took it to Disney, and then that's a whole nother mess. I've done a lot of stuff. But here, let me just show off the stuff I got. First off, there's a few stories attached to some of the stuff I have here. How do I want to start this? Let's see. First off, this was one of the sort of uniform style shirts I wore while we were there. Pretty simple, but at least they were dry fit, so you could breathe easily in them. Then we have, there's another little town. There's a small town past Pigeon Forge, kind of before you get to Gatlinburg, called Townsend. And it's a nice little quiet mountain town that's even further isolated from the main touristy stuff. And over there is there's a tiny little museum there. Because Townsend used to be a big lumber place. There was a giant lumber company on what's called the Little River up there, and they built a railroad up there. And the road you take to get to Townsend used to be the railroad. So I went to the railroad museum up there, and I got this t-shirt from that. So That's the type of, they used a special type of locomotive called a Shay engine, I believe. And I don't know, I wanted to get something from that museum because the people there were so nice. It was like a few elderly folks, and I was talking to some of them for a while. It's just, I don't know, it's a quaint little town, and I'd recommend it if you happen to be in the Pigeon Forge area, so I got this from there. And this is another story. This is another story because when I said the last time I was in Pigeon Forge was 10 years ago, what happened was, I don't remember much from it. The one thing I do remember is I went to a barbecue place that happened to be named after me. Just, I mean, coincidence, it was the guy's last name or something. But it was a place called Bennett's Barbecue, and I got an old t-shirt from it. And this t-shirt was like, you know, child small or whatever from how young I was. And I went back there and I ate there again. Food was alright, but I got another shirt just to remind myself of when I got a shirt back then. So, I don't know, it's a little sentimental to me, but it's another nice t-shirt. But I also did something kind of dumb this summer. Now, I'm not normally someone to go joyriding. I have a little Chevy Cruze my dad gave me, so I don't really want to risk it until it finally dies on me. However, I had seen some videos about a certain road near Tennessee, and I put it out of my mind, forgot about it, until I realized when I moved up there, it was only an hour away. Just a little less than an hour from town center, and a bit further away from Pigeon Forge is a place called State Road 129, I believe. US 129. And its nickname is the Dragon, or the Tail of the Dragon, because for an 11-mile stretch of this two-lane highway that curves through mountains, there's over 300 curves in 11 miles. And it goes up and down elevation all the time. So I went and I drove it in my Chevy. Twice. Would have been 3 times, but I got stuck behind this little car the other time. So it was really fun. A little dangerous, but God, I had a good time. Like, I was blasting Eurobeat the whole time. You have no internet out there, so I had to download a bunch of songs. I had to go download a bunch of stuff and then put it on like a phone app of like the VLC player, just so I could have music for there, but I needed it. And it was so worth it. That was some of the most fun I've had in my life, pretty much. And that's where I got this t-shirt. There's like a little motorcycle resort up there, and they have a tree where they hang motorcycle parts from people who busted up their motorcycles going from there. Because that road has had, I think, over 10 fatalities a year, almost exclusively from motorcycle crashes. And it's a dangerous place, but I mean, that's what makes it appealing to some people. So I really like going over there. Some other things I got were hats as well. Right before I left for the summer, I went and got a private tour of the Daytona Speedway down here in Florida, so I got a hat from that. I'm going to be wearing these hats all throughout streaming this year. Don't worry, we're going to have a lot of streams this year. Ignore the doorbell. I have another hat from the park, Splash Country. I have another hat from the main Dollywood Park. I went to a Buc-ee's for the first time, so I actually got a Buc-ee's. Ignore that. I got a Buc-ee's hat. I hate to say this, Buc-ee's is kind of mid. I hate to say it, but I mean, it's just a big gas station with a lot of good restrooms, but long lines for everything. It's basically a big tourist trap or gas station. Albeit it's huge, but whatever. I got a visor from my workplace. I also got a bunch of different shot glasses from all around the Pigeon Forge area. They aren't here yet. I haven't moved all my stuff into the dorm yet, so those aren't there yet, but I'm starting a shot glass collection. What other hats I got? That's all the important ones of those. I have like a giant like keychain ring of hats that I'm putting all these hats on. So coincidentally, while I was working at this internship, they had me wearing many hats because we trained in like a ton of different departments up there. Like we trained in culinary, hospitality, like cabana rentals and running food and things like that. Grouping rides, like ride dispatch. Not lifeguards, they had enough lifeguards, but we did a ton of stuff. What else did we do? We did like house and grounds training. All sorts of other stuff. I mean, I'm forgetting a lot of it, but there were only like 6 of us in the main park, sorry, not the main park. Only 6 of us in the water park for that internship, and I think there were like over 20 people for the regular internship. And I did like it though. So let's see what else we have. Another thing is, I got to go to a lot of theme parks this summer. And as a part of that, I'm gonna do a series. I'm gonna do like a stream or video series, I haven't decided, of my findings from these theme parks. Some of them were great, some of them were not. I'm going to do a video on Dollywood, and some of the other parks I got into for free or discounted. I got into Carowinds. I hadn't been to Carowinds since I was also, like, really young, and I remember nothing about it, so I went to Carowinds. And I really enjoyed Carowinds, so I'm going to make a video about each of these parks and my experiences. Another place I went to was Six Flags Atlanta on my way back down this summer, so I did that a few weeks ago. It wasn't as good, but I'm gonna wait to explain all of that until those videos, because I have a whole can of worms to open about that. Yep. However, that's not all that I did in Pigeon Forge. There was a few other things. First off, if you go to Pigeon Forge, one thing it's known for is touristy moonshine. So I had to get me some, even though it's not cheap. But we did get discounts with our IDs and things, so I brought some back from my roommates. It is, you know, touristy moonshine, it's whatever, but this is 100 proof. I was going to get the 128 proof, but it was $10 more, and I wanted to save some money. So this isn't, like, I had 2 other jars of this as well. This is the 3rd jar that I had while I was there. I had 2 full jars while I was there, got a 3rd to bring back. And in case you need proof, I have a picture. Here's some of the stuff I got in terms of that. There's, the jar on the left is a different flavor. I think it was a punch flavor that was alright. And the one on the right is from a different distillery, and that one was also just the plain, no flavor corn 100 proof. Again, it tastes like ass, but then again, it's moonshine, so like, of course it's gonna taste like ass. You don't drink it for the taste. But also in the middle was some Dollywood, like, refillable stuff. You know how theme parks have those popcorn buckets and drink cups for, you know, season refills and stuff, so I had that stuff too. And I got good use out of them. Actually, I broke one of them, so I had to get a replacement, but yeah, good mementos to have. I didn't bring those with me, just because I wanted to minimize what I was bringing back to the dorm with me. And otherwise, I still had a great time up there, and ate a lot of good stuff, drank a lot of good stuff, I drank a lot of not very good stuff. And we'll see what happens this year. So of course I got the moonshine, but let me see if there's anything else I can show off. I do also have a picture of the other interns I was with. I guess it's fine to show, because I did post on LinkedIn about that sort of thing, because, you know, it's a good career opportunity. And I got to, you know, add to the resume, meet some cool people. So this was the class of the interns at the water park this year. And yeah, there's me in the middle and the other interns. So it was a tight-knit group. We had a lot of fun. We all made presentations for how to improve the park, and this was after the big presentation where they picked the best of the best to submit. and it was really fun. And on the right was my manager there. She was very nice and very accommodating. So all good things to say about that. So that was basically most of my summer. And wrapping off the summer, after I got back from Dollywood, I got back to my house, tried to do a stream, and the internet wasn't good that night, so it didn't work out. But then my folks wanted to go to Disney. They had got some tickets secondhand for cheap from some other people selling vacation club points or something like that. So we went to Disney, and I saw their Halloween event, you know, that not so scary Halloween party or whatever. I'll go over a full thing of that probably in another video, because that's going to be in like the theme park review video mini-series stream thing that'll come after all this. But that was the first time I'd done the Halloween event thing, and I had some interesting thoughts about that. Coolest part is they turned the lights off, all the lights off on Space Mountain, and let you ride this Space Mountain just completely in the dark, like you can't see a thing. And that was really cool, but there were other parts about it too. Again, I'll wait for the full video. But I also rode the new roller coaster there in Epcot, the Guardians of the Galaxy one. I had to get a virtual queue by waking up at 7 in the morning to get it, which wasn't fun. But the ride itself was great, and I'll go into detail on that in the actual, stream video about that park. Because I have a Disney Pass, not for too much longer, but they've had some changes, and I think there's a lot to talk about with that. So, aside from that, there was another one, Busch Gardens. I went to Busch Gardens for the first time in a little while, because I hadn't ridden the new coaster they had there either, which was the Iron Gwazi. That's what it was, because I loved Gwazi growing up, the wooden one, even though it was rickety. I loved that one, and then they tore it out, and I was apprehensive that Iron Gwazi was going to be better. Blew it out of the water. Honestly, Iron Gwazi is one of my favorite coasters of all time now, which is a pretty high bar for me, because I rode a lot of good coasters this summer. But, again, I'm going to save that for a video. They won't be long. I'll just have them be live streams like this, where I have a loose set of talking points. They're not going to be scripted or anything. So, I think all the parks that I'm going to review in that series would be Dollywood, and I'll also cover the 2 water parks in Pigeon Forge in the Dollywood video, so that'll be like a combo. Then we'll have Carowinds, Six Flags Atlanta, the recent Disney stuff, and Busch Gardens. So that should be 5. Unless I counted wrong. Whatever, I can't count. Counting, why count when I can just go down this and then forget about everything? So, that was pretty much my summer, basically. And now that I'm actually back in a dorm, and now that I can at least do more than I wanted to, since I could stream it all this summer, I'm thinking I'm going to do a lot more specific content. I'm going to try to make more scripted videos. I'm going to try to stream a lot more, a lot of sort of other stuff. But now, I've been kind of ignoring chat for now, since I wanted to have this section of the video be, recorded enough and DVR'd to where, you can watch afterwards. But now, I want to ask you all. I see there was Clanker and Nerd in the chat before. I don't know if they're still there, but anyone who's still here in the chat right now, can you tell me some interesting things you all did during your summer? Because you all have to have some stories, I want to hear some good stories, so I'm going to take a quick little water break while y'all sort your thoughts. Also, let me know if I have, a changed accent from before. I don't know if my time up there maybe pick up a little bit of a more southern drawl. But no, it's weird because with Florida's almost... There we go. That was a little hiccup, don't mind that. But... Great, now I lost my train of thought. Here, just keep thinking about what y'all did this summer. I want to see that in the chat. I want to see it. Maybe I can... Should have copied the chat box over. I have this as a separate window, but I can read stuff out from it. There'll be a live chat too. I don't really want to have too much dead air right now. Again, I couldn't stream anything because I only have my laptop with me. And in the dorm that I was staying in for Dollywood, it was 2 bunk beds in one room. So it was 4 people in a tiny room, only a little bit bigger than this one. And it was very cramped in there, mainly designed for more international students. So we had to just, you know, we got used to it. But I couldn't do anything with like the hi-fi quality there, or there were a lot of fire alarms. In fact, there are a few here too, so that's not an exclusive problem. But it's something that I had to deal with. Anyways, now that I'm back, I have my rig set up. I have my full computer, not just the laptop, and I'm actually gonna, you know, do more stuff this summer, or sorry, this fall. But yeah, go ahead, tell me what you all did this summer in the chat. I want to talk about it. I want to get a little discussion going. We're going to pass around the talking stick with the 3 or 2 people that are in the chat right now. Oh, muted my music by accident. Kind of had it going in the background. Right now, you notice I'm not wearing my headphones. I may not wear my headphones for a lot more of these streams going forward, just because, I mean, it restricts what hats I can wear, because I have some dumb hats that I can't really fit headphones over. But that's just a minor thing. Plus, I don't really need the headphones as much unless I'm playing like a game that needs it, so. I'm gonna be doing a lot of gaming streams too. Here, let me refresh a page for a moment. Ignore the sound. Now that I'm thinking about it though, I may do a stream later tonight, like another stream just for gaming. Like a more relaxed one. But in that case, here, I'll tell you all what. Tell me what you did this summer in the comments after this, becomes a regular video and not a stream in the DVR. So let me know what y'all did for your summer. And I don't know, we'll talk about it in the comments because I'm interested to see what y'all did. I think I may end this one right now because that's pretty much all I have to say for now. I'll end up doing more videos on the stuff I talked about, more streams. But in the meantime, I guess I'll just get set up for the other things I'm going to be doing for the channel this fall. So, hope you all have a good rest of your night, and see y'all later. Tip of the hat. I guess I can do that. I can do whatever the hell I want with this now, so.